We're in fantasy football drafts and entering the season. Here's a few running backs I think could be breakout guys this year. The first guy, Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys. So last season, Tony Pollard definitely was great, and I thought he was the better running back over there in Dallas. But I think he needs more of an opportunity and more carry attempts. Last season, 130 carries, 719 yards, 2 touchdowns, 39 catches, 337 receiving yards, and a return touchdown. So this Cowboy team obviously have a lot of confidence still in Ezekiel Elliott. But if you could give Pollard 200, 250 carries, I think this guy could be a top 15, top 20 running back in fantasy football. And right here, he's explosive. He's got breakaway speed, and he's definitely a better wide receiver out of the backfield than Ezekiel Elliott. So right now, I think the Cowboys, they should go almost with a 50-50 split this season, with Elliott being the short yardage guy and Pollard being a guy coming in on third downs and getting some series as well here, because he definitely can help this Cowboy team. They need a little more speed on the offense. Besides CeeDee Lamb, there's not a lot of speed. Cedric Wilson left in free agent. Amari Cooper, he wasn't a speedy guy, but a good route runner, and they traded him to Cleveland. And James Washington's out with a broken foot. So right now, Cowboys need speed. They got to play Pollard more, even if they line him up as a receiver from time to time here. But he's a guy I think could break out, because if he gets, 15, 20 touches a game, he could pay big dividends for fantasy owners. And right now, he's going anywhere from the 7th to the 9th round range. The next running back's Cam Akers of the Los Angeles Rams. I was big on Cam Akers going into last season, and then obviously he went down with the Achilles injury. But now he's got the keys to the running back position over there as the starter in Los Angeles. So Cam Akers, physical running back, could catch the ball out of the backfield, 3 down back as well. And they don't really like Darrell Henderson, I believe, over there in Los Angeles, even though last season he started the year majority. But then Sony Michel took over, and he was a good physical back for them in the second half of the season. But he left in free agency and went to the Miami Dolphins. So Akers right now, he's going anywhere from mid-third, 4th round in most fantasy drafts. And the guy to be a number 2 running back is solid, where he definitely most weeks could put up number 1 running back numbers here. So Cam Akers, he's definitely a guy I was big on the last couple years. And now this year, where he's going to have a full opportunity and healthy so far going into training camp and into the season here, he's definitely a running back I would want to get on my team. And I think he breaks out this season with a good offense in Los Angeles with a lot of good guys. Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Van Jefferson's pretty good. Matthew Stafford stretched that field. Got Tyler Higbee, a tight end, so a lot of weapons over there. And I think Akers, he's a running back that could do damage and be a breakout guy this year. The next guy is A.J. Dillon of the Green Bay Packers. So I actually like A.J. Dillon better this season than Aaron Jones. Just going by the ADP, Aaron Jones right now, he's going late first, early second in most fantasy leagues. But A.J. Dillon, the more physical back. I know Aaron Jones is the better receiving back, but Dillon, he added some receiving as well last season. 187 carries, 803 yards, 5 touchdowns, 34 catches, 313 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns with a fumble loss. So right now, he's going about 4th or 5th round in most fantasy drafts. Here's A.J. Dillon. And I think this season we could see Aaron Jones 60-40 split in Jones' favor, but I think Dillon's got more explosiveness. He's definitely a better short yardage back, and the only thing that Jones really has over him is receiving. But Jones, he disappears a lot in ball games. There's games, obviously, he's going to get his 40, 45-point fantasy day, but then there's games last season where he was only getting maybe 8-10 points. So right here with Dillon back there in the backfield, he's going to play a factor. And this Packer team might actually run the ball more now with Devontae Adams gone and that offense not really having a true number 1 receiver, with Allen Lazard being their number 1 guy this season. Even though I think Lazard, just on volume alone, with a great quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, could be a breakout receiver. But that's another time for another video. So right here, A.J. Dillon, he's definitely going to break out, I think. Wouldn't surprise me to see him mid-season becoming more the starter and more the favorite over there in that backfield to get more touches than Jones. So like right here, I like where he's going 4th, 5th round. He's a perfect number 2 running back for fantasy owners, and he's definitely a guy I think breaks out this season. Next guy's J.K. Dobbins of the Baltimore Ravens. So Dobbins, another guy like Akers, I had high hopes for him going into last season, but he went down in training camp with the ACL injury. So the running back over there, Gus Edwards, we know he's in the backfield, and Mike Davis as well. But it's Dobbins' backfield to lose, and right now he got activated off the PUP list a few days ago, and he looks ready to go. Right now, the projections in here for J.K. Dobbins, not that good. 800 total yards, only 16 catches and 6 touchdowns. But right now, I think he's going to shatter that. As long as he's getting 15, 20 touches a game, this guy's going to be a breakout. And to go from doing nothing last season to a breakout running back is definitely a possibility. And I think this season he'll have over 1,000 yards total if healthy. And a guy who could catch a lot of passes out of the backfield. So right now the projections are low, in my opinion, for Dobbins. But I think he's definitely a guy that's a perfect number 2 running back. He's going 4th, 5th round in most fantasy leagues. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if he breaks out this season. And the 5th and final running back I have as a breakout candidate this season's Andrae Stevens of the New England Patriots. So Steven last season in his rookie year, 133 carries, 606 rush yards, 5 touchdowns, 14 grabs, 123 receiving yards, and a fumble loss. I know Damian Harris is back there. He had a solid season as well. But Harris, it always seems like he's nicked up and banged up. And we saw some monster games from Stevenson last season. Right now, he's going 7th, 8th round in most fantasy drafts. And honestly, I would be comfortable going into the season if he's my number 2 running back, believe it or not, because I still think he's going to get 40% work at least, with Harris being 60% favorite right now. But that easily could change in training camp, and that easily could change with performance. And even if Harris goes down with an injury, Stevenson will be the number 1 bell cow. I know Bill Belichick, he never makes his mind up who he's going to start one game to another. But James White is retired now, and someone's going to come in there and get the passing downs work. And I think Stevenson's a favorite over Harris for at least some of that passing downs work right now, even though it wouldn't surprise me to see the Patriots find another guy who could be a passing down back. But right now, with White retired, Harris injury prone, and Stevenson a better receiver out of the backfield, he's definitely a running back that's primed for a breakout season in his second year. So that's a few running backs I think that will break out entering the season in fantasy drafts within the next few weeks.